So let me break it down to you, because it's simple, and here it is. When I was a young kid, 10 years old, I really got into philosophy. I got into Socrates, I got into Plato, I got into Spinoza, all these great philosophers of our ancient times. And I learned a great deal from them. But as I got older, I realized that something was missing, that they were avoiding something. Basically, they were looking at the world saying, what can we do to make life better? What can we do to escape the fear of death? Because everyone is terrified of dying. And then I thought about it deeply and I said, why is everyone so afraid of death? Because it's inevitable. There's no way to hide from it. There's no way to run from it. Think about it. Has there anyone in human history that has ever lived forever? Or in any living creature's history? Has an animal, has a creature, has an insect, has a bacteria, has anything ever lived forever? No, we all die. Everything dies. So why are people so obsessed with death? Why are people so afraid of death? Why have we created religions that overwhelm entire civilizations, religions that control the minds of millions of people, all because we're afraid of dying, and because we want to pretend that after we die, we enter into this eternal existence where everything is perfect, where no one suffers, because all the suffering and pain is here on earth. Have you ever thought about that? Well, think about it. And think about biology. Think about, why do things die? Why is there a biological reason why things die? Because there is. Nothing lives forever, and it should. If you look at what a piece of biology is, it's a constantly repairing organism. A biological organism like you and me, we replenish, we repair by consuming new matter. A rock, anything inorganic, does not replenish. Wear and tear, air, water, gently rub it and degrade it, and it falls apart. But a biological creature like you and me, we eat, we consume new matter, and we become refreshed. We grow, we heal. So we should be eternal biologically. Why do we then die? Why do we then age? Well, again, think logically. Use those ancient philosophers' system of logic, system of thinking, and you will understand why. Because the first life on earth, the first bacteria, the first amoeba, whatever the first life on earth was, most likely it was eternal, meaning that it simply lived as long as something killed it. If nothing killed it, it could have lived for millions of years. If nothing stepped on it, if nothing crushed it, if the weather didn't change, it should have just kept regenerating in an endless loop. But what happens if you live forever? You don't evolve. So for evolution to exist, for things to improve, you have to die. But it goes backwards, not that in that direction. So what happened was, most early creatures most likely just did not get old and did not die. But a few mutated and ended up dying after procreation. And we still have that today. A lot of animals today, like octopus and some insects, once they mate, they're dead. That's it. The last act on earth is a good fuck, and then you die. So they go, they mate, and they die. And that's it. So mating evolved as a way to spread genes, but it also ensured our death, because once you've mated, you need to leave room, space for other creatures to exist. And you can't just keep going on forever. So that's how death evolved into biology. And it's the essence of evolution. Without death, there is no evolution. Things have to die for two reasons. Literally just to make space for new creatures to exist. But second, to leave the new generations so they can keep evolving and becoming all the life that we have on Earth today. So death is an absolute essence of biological life. And it evolved. That's why age is so different in different creatures. There are spiders and other insects that live to be 60 years old, while certain flies only live days. And they're both insects. Why does one live days and another 60 years? Why do turtles live 200 years and dogs only 10? It's the biological life cycle. It's the speed of the metabolism that determines how how long they live on this earth and their niche within the life they live. So you can see that it is pre-programmed genetically how long a creature will live. So it's purely all evolutionary, our death. And we humans have been programmed to die. Now, in the future, we may figure it out and solve the death problem, but that's not my point here. My point is that no matter what, we will die. No one will ever live forever, because no matter how many solutions we discover biologically, eventually people will get sick. Eventually people will get injured or hurt, or people will simply psychologically lose interest in life. I mean, if you live 1,000 years, imagine being born when the first cathedrals were built. Can you imagine being alive for that long and seeing all the crap that's happening on Earth in 1,000 years? Eventually you just get over it. And you'd be sick and tired of all your friends dying. And even if your friends were alive for 1,000 years, you just get sick and tired of them for 1,000 goddamn years. And be like, enough. I gotta move on. Well, I'm moving on. And as I said, there's two reasons why death is the essence of life. One is biological, but then for us, for creatures that are alive, there's a second reason, and that's motivation. You got a job, or maybe you don't, maybe you're lazy. But if you're not lazy and you got a job, what's going on at your job? You have motivation, you have deadlines, you have all kinds of pressures on you, forcing you to get your work done. Why? Because you're lazy. If you didn't have it, you wouldn't get anything done. For you to get anything done, you gotta have a boss, somebody with a whip to motivate you, to make you get your ass up and get your work done. God damn it, human being. What is wrong with all of us? Why are we so lazy? So, we're lazy. We don't get things done unless we have a motivator. Well, death is the ultimate motivator, because our life is limited. We are born, we live, and then we die. In that span of time, we gotta get a lot of things done. The most important thing, obviously biologically, is procreation. Fuck, fuck, fuck. You gotta fuck. That's what nature wants. That's what God said in his little Bible. And that's what evolution wants you to do. So you gotta get around and meet your potential mate and nail her. Because it's your evolutionary demand. It has to be done. It's part of why you exist. It's part of why you're alive. So you gotta get it done. But to get it done right, to get it done in a way you like, you need time and you need to get moving, and you know that if you don't, you will die. And it applies in everything else we do. In life, this is why we have our intellectual evolution. This is why we have intelligence. It's because we want to get things done more and more in a comfortable manner. We don't want to live in a cave until we die. So we build homes, we build civilizations. It spurred us on. This limitation in life, knowing that you could die tomorrow, not just from the old age, but you could die getting killed by a monster in the forest, or you could die from lightning, or you could die from cold, from being sick and living in a cave. All these things could kill you. So what did you do? You picked up a stone and made a weapon out of it. You made a tool out of it. You figured out how to put these stones together and make a building out of it. You figured out how to take wood and shape it and turn it into tools and weapons and make better food for yourself. You were afraid of fire, but you figured out that if you control the fire, you can make your food better, you can improve your life with it. And all these things were done because we fear death. All these things were done because we don't want to die early. We want to wait and die at the last possible moment. We want to live a full life. So there's two reasons why death is the essence of life. And I will continue letting you know why this is, because I am the Metalosopher. But I will cover all kinds of subjects, every subject imaginable, wherever I see that I think needs a little metalosification, clarification from the metal point of view in this messed up nation. I will take care of it.